कल्याण कार्यक्रम में today we are proceeding to the next very important act, that is Custom Act. Today we will see the overview of Custom Act. In this part we will check levy and collection of custom duty, types of custom duty, classification and valuation of import and export goods, exemption, officer of custom, administration of custom law, import and export procedure, transportation and warehousing, very important topic, duty drawback, demand and recovery, consignation of goods, conveyance and refund. So, by way of question and answer, we are starting this very important Gyan Se Kalyan program. So the very first question is, write a short notes on the basic customs duty. So my dear friend, here is the answer. Basic customs duty is levied under section 12 of the Custom Act 1962. Read with section 2 of the Custom Tariff Act 1975. So in case of Custom Act, there are two important aspects. First is the Custom Act and second is the Custom Tariff Act. The duties of customs shall be levied at such rates as may be specified under the Custom Tariff Act 1975 or any other law for the time being in force on goods imported into and exported from India. The rates of custom duty are specified in the first and second schedule of the section 2 of Custom Tariff Act 1975. First schedule enlists the goods liable to import duty and second schedule enlists the goods liable to export duty. There are different rates for different goods, but merit rate is generally 7.5%. And important, basic duty may exempted wholly or partially with or without any condition by a notification under section 25 of the Custom Act. Basic custom duty is also exempted upfront or through drawback mechanism where the imported goods are meant for re-export or for use in manufacture of export goods. The basic custom duty may have two rates, a standard rate and second preferential rates. Standard rate is charged where there is no provision for preferential treatment. Preferential rates if the goods are imported from the area notified by the government as preferential area, duty to be charged or at preferential rates. Preferential rates is applied only where the owner of the article, importer, claims at the time of importation with supporting evidence that the goods are chargeable with the preferential rate of duty, and if importer fails to claim with supporting evidence, then duty to be charged at standard rate. Basic custom duty is not creditable against any tax or duty whatsoever. So now we are proceeding to the next important question. So the second question is, explain the concept of import and importers with reference to the provision of Custom Act 1962. So my dear friend, here is the answer as per section 2 subsection 23 of the Custom Act. The term import refers to bringing into India from a place outside India. Import of goods into India commences when the goods enter the territorial water of India, TWI, but gets completed only when the goods become part of the mass of the goods within the country. As per section 2, subsection 26, the Custom Act, importer in relation to any goods at any time between their importation and the time when they are cleared for home consumption includes any owner, beneficial owner, or any person holding himself out to be the importer. Interesting, Anna? Yes, sir. So now let us start question number 3. How is custom duty calculated? Very important. So answer is here. Custom valuation determination of value imported good rules 2007. Custom duty are calculated on a specific or ad valorem basis, that is on the value of goods. The value of goods is determined by rule 3(1) of custom valuation determination value of imported goods rule. This rule pegs the value of imported goods at the transaction value. Remember it, underline it, transaction value that has been adjusted according to the provision under Rule 10. In case there are no quantifiable or objective data regarding the valuation factor, valuation condition are not satisfied, or there are doubts regarding the accuracy or truth of declared value, as per Rule 12 of the Valuation Rule 2007, valuation of item has to be done through other means as per following hierarchy. So remember the following steps. Comparative value method, which compares the transaction value of similar item. Rule 4. Comparative value method, which compares the transaction value of similar item. Rule 5. Deductive value method, which uses the sale price of item in importing country. Rule 7. Computed value method, which uses the cost related to fabrication, materials and profit in production country. Rule 8. Fallback method, which is based on the earlier method with higher flexibility. Rule 9. So now we are coming to the next very important question. Question number 4. Explain the provision of determination of value under the custom valuation rules in case the value declared by the importer does not represent the transaction value or valuation of the goods imported. Very interesting question and important as well. Answer is here. In case the value declared by the importer does not represent the transaction value of the goods imported, the value shall be determined by proceeding sequentially through Rule 4 to 9 of the custom valuation determination of value of imported good rule. These rules are framed by central government under the provision of Section 14 of the Custom Act. So, what is transaction value? Now, my dear, we very sincere. Transaction value means the value referred to in subsection 1 of section 14 of the Custom Act. That is, the price actually paid or payable for the goods when sold for export to India, except in case of exceptions for delivery at the time and place of importation, where the buyer and seller of the goods are not related, means unrelated. Price is the sole consideration for the sale. Very important, two things. First thing is buyer and seller should be unrelated. Second thing is that the price is sole consideration for the sale. Rule number 3, subject to rule 12, the value of imported goods shall be transaction value adjusted in accordance with provision of Rule 10 of the Custom Valuation Determination of Value Imported Gold Rules 2007. Rule 3 sub Rule 2, transaction value can be accepted only if the following requirements are satisfied. First, no restriction on buyer for disposal of goods. Second, sale not subject to condition of which value cannot be determined. For example, buyer to buyer, same other goods in a specified quantity. Third, no further consideration of which adjustment cannot be made. Seller should not get part subsequent sale. Next point, unrelated buyer and seller. If the value cannot be determined under the provision of sub rule 1 or rejected under rule 12, the value shall be determined by proceeding sequentially through rule 4 to 9. Sub rule 3, the value of the imported goods shall be transaction value of identical goods sold for export to India and imported at or about the same time as the goods being valued. If more than one transaction value is available, the lowest value shall be taken. And interesting, the provisionally assessed value of identical good cannot be taken into account. Come to the rule 5. Transaction value of similar goods. Subject to the provision of rule 3. The value of the imported goods shall be transaction value of similar goods or export to India and imported at or at about the same time as the goods being valued. If more than one AC is available, the lowest value shall be taken. The provisionally assessed value of similar goods cannot be taken into account. Now come to the rule 6, where the value of the imported goods cannot be determined under rule 3, 4 and 5. The value shall be determined under rule 7 or rule 8 at the request of the importer. The application of rule 7 and 8 shall be reversed. Rule 7, deductive value. In case valuation cannot be done under rule 3, 4 and 5, the value of the imported goods shall be based on the unit price at which imported goods or identical or similar imported goods are sold in the greatest aggregate quantity to persons who are not related to the sellers in India. This rule would normally not be applicable when, as a result of further processing, the imported goods lose their identity. Or now come to the Rule 8, computed value. In case valuation cannot be done under Rule 7, the value of the imported goods shall be done on the basis of computed value. What is it? Which shall consist of the sum of the cost or value of materials and fabrication, etc. employed in producing the imported goods, profit and general expenses, freight, insurance and handling charges, etc. incurred upon place of importation. The above costs are to be reckoned in the country of production and not in India. Very important. So now come to the Rule 9, where the value of imported good cannot be determined under the provision of any of the preceding rule. The value shall be determined using reasonable means on the basis of the data available in India. To extent possible, the value to be based on previously determined custom values. This rule specifically bars fixing of first minimum custom value and second arbitrary or fictitious value. Rule 10(1). The value element, the following elements are required to be added to the value to determine the transaction value. Here, very important, how the transaction value is determined, the steps and process are given. The first point is the following item will be added. The first point, commission and brokerage except buying commission. Second, cost of container, packing, etc. Third, engineering, development, artwork, design work, etc. Next, royalties and license fee related to the imported goods with a condition of sale on such imported supplied goods. Rule 10(2). The value of imported goods shall be the value of such goods for delivery at the time and place of importation and shall include, if not already included, first, the cost of transport, second, loading, unloading, handling charges. So my dear, here, very important point, the cost of insurance, if the cost of transportation freight is not ascertainable, it shall be 20% of the FOB. If the cost of insurance is not ascertainable, it shall be 1.125% of FOB. However, in respect of import by air, the freight shall be limited to 20% of the FOB price of the supplier, wherever the air freight exceed 20%. Very important. Now come Rule 12. This rule details the scope and power of custom officer, the circumstances in which transaction value could be rejected by the officer of customs. Rejection of declared value done if contemporaneous value significantly higher, abnormal discount, a special discount, misdeclaration of description, quality, quantity, year of manufacture, non-declaration of brand, grade, specification, and last one is fraudulent manipulated document. Very important. Hannah, interesting? Yes, my dear. Don't forget to listen time and again. Make your habit to write the important point in your note copy. Thank you very much. Be alert to subscribe, forward, and recommend